Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay, so let me start with basic information about cloud. So, how much information you have idea about cloud?
In fact, I can say I am zero in this cloud area, so that is
Okay.
what I told
Okay,
you on the
not
phone.
an issue. But so what you are assuming? What is cloud?
Uh, Basically, there is a lot of infrastructure cost which is we are spending day to day. That is, the companies are spending day to day in here. So they are just moving that into the cloud environment so that they can easily maintain and they can reduce the cost. That is what I aware of it.
Okay. Okay. So there is a general information. Okay. So that is also one of the reason. Okay. So I'll tell you. So what is cloud and what is the market of cloud and who are doing cloud and so what actually cloud? I'll tell you. So before I'm starting cloud, let me give you some information about traditional environment.
Yeah.
So, how was the traditional environment? What was the problem in the traditional environment? So, how traditional environment look like? So, how the structure of traditional environment? So, to overcome the traditional environment, so the people innovated the new concept called cloud. So once you
Yeah.
understood about traditional environment, you'll be get to know a lot of information about cloud and why we are using cloud, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine. So just assume that you are an architect, you are a solution architect in your company. You want to give the solution to the your client in an infrastructure level. Okay, so what
Yeah.
will you do? What kind of solution you will be provide? So for example, the new client will ask you, I need application, I need this product, I want to sell that product, and I need an infrastructure. So what type of infrastructure will you provide that particular client, and what kind of feasible solution you will be provide to the client? I'm just asking. What is your thought?
Based on its requirement, we'll be assuming either which OS and what kind of additional environment he is looking for, and that is what we will decide on the time, right?
Okay.
And see, you think I'm completely new to this areas.
No,
Okay,
no,
so
just I'm just
you can just explain.
getting information about you and how much information you know that. Like, not an issue. I'll teach you all the things, no problem. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
so the architect will be plan about your hardware first. What type of hardware it is, and
Okay.
he'll be plan about what type of hardware, what is the spec of the hardware. It may be hired from IBM, it may be hired from HP, and it may be Dell hardwares. Okay, and he'll
Yeah.
be planning about the hardware, and top of the hardware, he'll be suggesting some of the operating system, right? So he'll be suggesting some of the operating system. So you can use maybe any of the operating system. He'll be suggesting Windows or Linux or any Intel based operating system. This is not a hardware dependent environment. It is a hardware independent environment. So because hardware dependent environment already gone, so there is no market in the hardware dependent environment. Like so AX market and Solaris market and HP market so are already gone. So they will
Yes.
not again come into the picture. Okay, so
Yeah.
in the current traditional environment, the architect will be provide the hardware, what type of hardware going to use, and what is the futures in that between the companies IBM and HP and Dell, and what kind of support they have. So how they will be charged, everything will be calculated by the architect, and
Okay.
then top of that, so he'll be planning about the operating system, so which operating system going to be installed. Okay, and on the top
Yeah.
of the operating system, client will be suggest we are going to, maybe some client doesn't know about what type of application they want to use, so these people going to suggest applications also. So it's maybe a database, maybe sorry, they'll be suggest like Oracle, or they will be suggest like MySQL or some other DB to some other application or database platform. Okay,
Yeah.
Oracle. Okay, he suggested Oracle, and and he should have other application server also. He should have other application server. Okay, so applications also will be running on the top of the operating system. Okay, so maybe almost very higher security environment they'll be using application as well as the Unix based operating system or Windows based operating system. Unix.
Okay.
Okay, so on the top of the Unix operating system, they'll be running their application. They'll be running their application. It's maybe SAP or Apache,
Yeah.
SAP or Apache, whatever the application they are going to use in a business. Okay,
App servers,
it
right?
is app server. It may be Java server or as SAP server or like any server, any application. It is going to help client to do the business.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you'll be connecting your application server to database server. So your application will directly connected to your database. Okay, so whatever the things will be coming from the application that will be get redirected to the database application. So database application will be store the data to the storage. Okay, we have the storage system. So it's maybe SAN or NAS or DAS boxes. Okay, so you'll be using depends upon your cost. Okay, so you have
Okay.
the hardwares, you have the lot of hard drives. Okay, so this hard drives will be mounted with your database server. So your hard drives will be mounted to your database server. Okay, like whatever the data is coming to the database, that automatically gets stored inside your storage server. So storage server
Okay.
will have the capable of a lot of storage capacity. It is storing a lot of data. Okay, it's basically block
Yeah.
storage. It's not a cloud object storage. It is basically block storage. Okay, so it will be storing the
Okay.
data in a file system. The bottom layer will be the blocks, right?
Okay.
Okay, and you should have network infrastructure, and network people will come into the picture. They will be and I mean architects, architect will be giving the network spec to the I mean main architect man. So they have different kind of architect uh, for uh, for op- for hardware they have different architect. For operating system they have different architect, and for applications also different kind of architects. So all the people will give their solution to the main architect. Main architect will be design the total entire infrastructure, and finally that architecture will be given to the deliver to the client, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
this is a network setup. It's maybe had from the Cisco or Juniper. A lot of network solution is there, right? Okay, so it's maybe the so there's something that is a switch, and it's manageable switch, and you should need manageable switch, and you should need routers, you should need firewalls, you should need firewalls. Okay, and although all those get interconnected. Okay, so all those interconnected with the server, I mean the server. Okay, and finally you have the internet, right? You have the internet. Okay, so the connection will be coming from the internet, and if you have the customer, customer like we have customer have the client computers. They will be accessing they'll be accessing their application because you have the app, right? App or URL. So you'll be
Yeah.
provide the app or URL to the client, and client will be access your data or access your business through the client application, or it may be app or URL. So when
Yeah.
client accessing your data, that communication will go to internet, and that will be connect to your particular application server. Application server will be get the data from the database server, and it will be finally the data will be sent to the client particular customer through the client application, right? So this is what
Yeah.
happening in a traditional environment. So if anything happen in the anything happen in the servers, so what the people will do? So for example, this server went down, or your application server went down. So what will happen? So did you do the business that particular time? We can't
No,
do the
we can't
business,
do
right?
it. So we
So
will.
like so for rectifying this scenario, this drawback, they have implemented the new concept called clustering. Okay, so clustering, they have other servers. There is two type of clustering, like application clustering and OS clustering. Okay, OS level clustering and application. Maybe you heard about that, right? So application
Yeah.
clustering and OS clustering. So what is application clustering? So application clustering meaning, okay, so you have the application, it's running in the server, and also you have other server, it is running same application. You have other server, it is also running the application. For example, you are going to configure a cluster on the Oracle application. Okay, so I have the Oracle here. I have the Oracle here. Okay, so all the Oracle
Yeah.
application get interconnected with a cluster. Okay, so
Yeah.
what happened is, suppose the customer want to communicate his data, the connection will be coming to the application side. Application will be pass the connection to the particular application server, nearest application server. If that particular application server will not respond, so what will happen is that that query will be, that request will be redirected to the next available application server. So that is done by
Database server, right?
database server. That is done by clustering. So your application always will be available in a redundancy level, also the high availability level. Okay, so application will provide you the redundancy, as well as application cluster will be provide the redundancy, as well as load balancing. Right. Okay. Like
Yeah.
if this server is very busy, what will happen is this will be redirect the query to other database server. So this is database level of
Yeah.
clustering. It is also a solution will be provided by Oracle corporation. That is also high cost than you are buying your database server. Okay. And
Yeah.
in other hand, we have the OS level of clustering. So in OS level of clustering, so you have the operating system here, right? Already installed operating system. Okay, and just assume that this server and this server get connected with clustering. So what happens is, this server is acting as a active server. The server is acting as active, and this service it acting as passive. Okay, so what will happen is, my application is up and running on my active server. If anything wrong in my active server, what will happen is, my all the application automatically migrated to my passive server. My passive server will be provide the service to my application server, right? Okay, so if
Yes.
anything happen in the hardware level or operating system level, so what will happen is, my data everything get moved to my nearest server, and there is a passive server. Passive server will be respond to the queries. So that is the
Application. Yeah.
OS level of clustering. So to recover the high availability, I mean to preventing preventing the downtime, they have designed the new concepts called clusters. That is also one of the advantage in your traditional environment, right? So but as here if you think here is, so high cost is I mean it's very, if you want to buy all those stuffs, you have to spend a lot of money. Okay, so I mean you have to spend a lot of money for hardware and also software. Also, if you want to get a service for this operating system, that you have to pay, and also for Oracle application you have to pay. But when you compare the cloud and the traditional environment, so there is a lot of money involved in your traditional environment. For example, just take a look at, you are manufacturing the mobile. Okay, so but you have to pay, you have to spend at least 40 percentage of money from your revenue to the IT. Okay, so without IP you cannot sell your product, right? You have to spend a lot of money to your IT. So with the traditional environment, so you have to spend a lot of money. Okay, to preventing this cost, and there is other concepts also involved. I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so for preventing this problem,
Yeah.
and like resource availability, and for example the other a lot of other problem is there in your traditional environment. For example, if client is requesting the hard drive. Okay, so for
Yeah.
example, my client is requesting, I need to update my 1 terabyte hard drive in my SAP server. So what will happen is, so the request will be coming to administrator, OS administrator, and OS administrator will be give the request to storage team, and storage team, they will be check the request and everything, and they will be check the availability of the hard drive, and finally that hard drive will be mounted to the server, and that will be given to the particular application. So application will be keep on store the data on the particular given hard drive. But you provided 1 terabyte hard drive, but it will not immediately occupy that 1 terabyte hard drive, right? So it will be slowly occupying the
Yeah.
data, right? But your resources are still wasting, right? So you are not using that. After 1 year or 2 year only, your resource will be get full, right? So still that particular time,
Yes.
so your resource is wastaging, right? Your resource is wasting.
Yes.
We are not able to use that particular space to other project or other data store, right? So a lot of resource
Yes.
wastage is happening. In other hand, you have other problem is, for example, just assume that I have the database server, it is 500 GB. I have RAM like 500 GB. Okay, and I have CPU. I have 32 CPUs in that particular service. Okay, I have totally 32 CPUs in that particular
Yeah.
server. What will happen is, maybe my Oracle application will utilize 200 GB or 300 GB. In the peak time, it may be occupy 400 GB. Okay, so and still I have some of the
Yeah.
resources wastaging. I cannot use that particular resource to any other application, or I cannot provide to any other database server, right? So
Yeah.
still my space is wastaging. Still my CPU is wastaging. Okay, to prevent this problem, the people came with a new concept called virtualization. Okay, so these are the problems in your traditional environment. So the next innovation happened with virtualization. Okay, so from the virtualization,
Yeah.
people, they have started a cloud. Okay, so I'll tell you how cloud came with a virtualization. So this is a major problem is there in your traditional environment. After that, people have started the virtualization. Now, how virtualization works, I'll tell you.
Okay.
And can I erase this?
Yeah, not a problem.
So in virtualization, okay, what we are going to use our resources in a efficient way. Okay, so just assume that I have the hard drive, I have the hardware. Okay, so just think about this is IBM hardware. Okay,
Okay.
IBM, some X 3500 Okay. So, and this has, I had some 500 GB RAM. Okay, 500 GB and like 64 processor it has. Okay, CPUs.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so basically what I will do is,
Yeah,
top of the
fine.
hardware, I'll be installing operating system, right? If you install the operating system on the top of the hardware, I cannot I mean OS, on the top of the OS I'll be installing my application, right? That is a traditional environment.
Yeah.
So instead of installing the operating system, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to have my virtualization OS, virtual OS, okay, like hypervisor. We call it hypervisor. Okay, so instead of installing my operating system on the top of the hardware, I'm not going to install the operating system. I'm just going to install the virtual operating system, virtualization operating system. Okay, that is nothing but that OS. That is nothing but hypervisor. Okay. So there is
Okay.
two type of virtualization. So first one is client based, client using client software, client software, and other one is using hypervisor. Okay, there is two type of virtualization. So what
Okay.
the people did is, so initially, 1 second. Can we erase this? Is there no way, right?
Yeah, we can. There is a eraser, right?
Okay, so what will happen here?
Control plus.
So there is a lot of problem in traditional infrastructure, and to overcome that traditional infrastructure, they have the hardware. On the top of the hardware, they have installed the operating system. Okay, and top of the operating system, they have installed some virtualization software. Okay, they have installed some virtualization software. Okay, this is a virtual software. Virtualization software, and this virtualization software will allow to run many virtual operating system. Okay, many virtual operating system. So each and every operating system I can install my different operating different application. So for example, so I can install Oracle over here. Oracle, I can install SAP, and I can install Apache. So this I can give to this. Maybe I'm just allocating to 200 GB for Oracle, and I can allocate and 100 GB for SAP, and I can allocate again 100 GB for Apache. Okay, the thing is, so top of the OS, we are running the virtualization software. The virtualization software is going to manage the virtual operating system. So it is called as instances. Okay, each instance we can use it for separate applications. So okay, this server will be handling Oracle. I can give to the one particular client. This instance I can have other application. I can give to particular client, or in that particular client also, right? The thing is, the problem
Yes.
is, my resources has utilized fully, right? So the previous concept, my
Yeah.
half amount of resources wastaging. In this concept, my resources utilizing. Also, you have the scaling. For example, in the peak time, sometime Oracle server can utilize 300 GB or 400 GB. If you have, I mean, maybe this server it is utilizing 50 GB, and this server it is utilizing 50 GB. Still we have space, right? Still we have some resources is free, right? In that particular resources can be shareable
Yeah.
to the particular Oracle server if Oracle server want to access much more memory. right? So that resources can be
Yeah.
shareable and can be scalable when demanded the particular application, right? So
Yes.
there is a huge futures got implemented by Solaris operating system with a concept called zones. Okay, so the first guy came with the virtualization concept is Sun Microsystem. They have implemented in their environment the software called zones. Okay,
Okay.
and after that, similarly, the people started innovating their environments like Zen. Zen. The people started. I mean, there is a Zen. I mean, you heard about Zen, right? Zen. Okay,
Zen.
Zen also is
Heard
kind of
about.
virtualization software, and KVM, it is designed by Linux-based hypervisor. I mean virtualization software, right? And in Windows we have Hyper-V.
Okay.
Hyper-V will supporting to virtualization, and also similarly the guy. I mean the guy got a lot of projects in the world. The guy name is VMware. They have started same innovation. He has occupied a lot of projects in the world, and almost a lot of servers in they're running on the VMware now. So VMware is not a cloud. VMware is a virtualization. Okay, so it is a solution which will
Yeah.
be running on the initially they have came with a virtually client based virtualization. After that they have moved into hypervisor based virtualization. Okay, so initially everyone came into the client based virtualization. Okay, so they will be installing their virtualization software on the top of the OS, and from that they will be creating the instances. So top of the instances they will be installing the application and programs and give it to the particular client. That will be happened in the middle of the cloud and traditional environment. Okay, and
Okay.
when you look at hypervisor based virtualization, it much more effective than client based virtualization. It is much more effective, much more management power in that hypervisor based virtualization. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so for
Yeah.
example, in a hypervisor based virtualization, you will be having the hardware, physical hardware, and it is high end hardware, and top of the hardware we are not going to install the operating system. So we are going to install in the virtualization operating system. Okay, it is not a enterprise operating system. It's not a Red Hat. It's not Windows, or it's not Ubuntu, something like that. It's not a. It don't have functionality to do the file handling. Don't have functionality to do any other task. It is simply virtualization software. I'll tell you what it will do. Okay, so this is a virtualization
Okay.
software, and we call it as hypervisor. Okay, there is different kind of hypervisor in the market now. So KVM and ESHI and Zen. There is and Hyper-V. That is all hypervisor. Okay, so there is a lot of hypervisor in the market now. Okay, so this hypervisor, it is allowed to run many virtual machines on the top of the hypervisor. Okay, it will be allowed to run a lot of virtual machines. Okay, number of virtual machines. The main problem is the hypervisor don't have any management power. So it will be simply running that virtual machine. That's it. It don't have any management power. If you want to manage
Okay.
this virtual environment, you need a management server separately. So you need a management server separately. Okay. So that server, there is a management server. So it is connected with your hypervisor. Okay. So management server will have the database system. Will have the database system. It has information about how much instance is running, how it is running, how much resource is occupying. Everything can be manageable by management server. Okay, so if
Okay.
you want to increase your if you want to increase your like with like for example, so many more client ask you to create a VMs, you'll be increasing your hypervisors, you'll be increasing your hypervisor boxes. You are not going to increase your management server. Management server is nothing but single server that is going to be managed different kind of hypervisors. So like for example, if you want to increase your
Okay.
business, you'll be creating other hypervisor server. Okay, sorry, I don't. I'm not familiar with pain. That is what I'm struggling at. Okay,
Sure,
so
sure, not a problem. I can understand.
you'll be creating other hypervisor server and to increase your resources. Okay, available resources like. Okay, so when you increase a lot of hypervisor in your environment, you will have a lot of resource will be available always. Whenever the client asks you new instances, you can provide. But this management server will be managing all those stuffs. So it'll be provide you
Yes.
the console to access your instances. It'll be provide the user authentication. It'll be provide the management things. Everything going to be provided by the management server. Okay, so in VMware we called as vSphere. vSphere that is going to be run on the other server, and on the hypervisor part,
Okay.
that the ESXi server will be running on the hypervisor part. Right? You got it. So in the
Yes, I got
hypervisor
it.
type of virtualization, you need a management server. So that is very effective than client-based virtualization. You got it. Okay. So like
Yes.
actually the thing is, this virtualization is one of the component of the cloud. This is not a cloud actually. This is one of the component of cloud. Okay. We can't say this is a cloud. This is actually the virtualization. Okay. So
Okay.
this is one of the component of the cloud. Okay. Then now we can come into the cloud part. How the cloud is. What is cloud is. Okay. Okay. You got it. What is traditional? What is
Yeah.
virtual? Right. So what are the
Yes.
problem got rectified
Yes.
in virtual?
In virtual, we
Okay.
can use the resources in a
Okay.
proper way without wasting it.
Scaling.
And here we reduce.
Okay.
Yes, we have a power of scaling. And here we are managing the entire on the last by using the hypervisor. We are managing
Okay.
everything by using the single management server, where we can use the
So
multiple
main thing is
hypervisors
here
as
is
the client
backup.
requirement.
So backup is very important thing. For example, in traditional, if any servers get down, what will happen is you will be take a lot of time to up the server, and client will be waiting for your server problem rectified. Okay, so like there is a lot of downtime happened in your traditional environment. So here that is not a big deal to up the server. For example, you are running the Oracle application on this instances. So instances is nothing but is a file. It is stored inside the operating system, right? So it is nothing but file. You will be keep on
Yeah.
backupping all those file. It is coming under the operating system, right? That is normally will happen. Okay, so whatever the
Yes.
file is coming to the operating system will be taking the backup. So if anything problem in that particular operating system or hardware, what will happen is, so you can take the data, take that file from the backup, and you can launch to the other server. It will be launch in 5 minutes, and that your server again will be keep on running, and your application will be keep on running. The problem gets solved, right? You understood what I'm saying? So the thing is,
Yes.
in the
Yes.
traditional environment, you'll be troubleshoot everything. It will take much time. So here operating system also will be store it as a file, normal file. That is always taking the backup by the backup team, right? So when the problem will happen, or in a storage level, or a hardware level, you'll be restore that file from the backup team, and launching the file again. So it much not take much time. It will be take very less time to give the solution to the client. Right. So that is a very
Yes.
easy way to troubleshoot the issues. So after that, he will be looking the administrator will be looking the issues, right? So the client need is availability. So I have
Yes.
to give the availability, right? Okay, so that is a main reason people migrated their traditional infrastructure to virtual infrastructure. Okay, fine. And now we can come to the cloud. So what is cloud?
Okay.
Cloud computing. Okay. So in a
Yeah.
virtualization, you will be doing only the compute part. You'll be doing virtualize your compute part. So in a cloud computing, everything is on demanded. Everything. So for example, like the thing is, I'll tell you. You have the physical infrastructure, and on top of the physical infrastructure, you will have the virtual infrastructure, right? This is virtualization, right?
Yeah.
And top of the virtualization, we have we have other layer called automation. Okay, so in the traditional environment, the people were used only the physical up to the physical layer, and in a virtualization environment, people were used up to the virtualization layer. In the cloud environment, they were used automated. So everything is automated and kept it into the single portal. So everything is on demand. Everything is get ready in the single portal. If you want, you can take it and you can do the business. So maybe you understood little bit, but I'll again tell you deeply, right? Okay, fine. So for example,
Yeah.
uh, your compute got virtualized. You have, for example, if you want to do the business, you need a three components. One is compute, and you need network, and you need storage. Okay, so you need a compute power, and you need
Yeah.
a specific network amount of network to manage your resources, and you need a storage to store the data, right? So these three components involved in your IT
Yep.
infrastructure. Okay, and when you're demanding to the compute in traditional environment, that will take much time. When you're demanding to the network, that is also taking much time. When you're demanding to storage, that is also taking much time. That's what the people came into the picture concept called virtualization. When you demanded, it is everything given to the particular time. It is a less time it will be taking, right? Okay. The thing is,
Yeah.
these are the things automated in a single portal, already configured. For example, in a traditional environment, you will be asking the storage to your storage team. They'll be they'll be give the storage to operating system team. The operating system team, they'll be check the mount points, and if it is mounted or not, and if it is not mounted, again it will give the request to storage team, and again that properly they will check everything is properly configured. Once it is configured, they'll be updating the file system, and they'll be doing the mount point, everything, right? So they'll take a lot of time to give the
Yeah.
resources. And in a cloud, everything is configured and kept it as a showroom. In a showroom, if you go to the showroom, so what is you'll be having all the things is ready, right? If you want, you can take it. That is a concept. So your IT infrastructure,
Yes.
everything is pre-configured, and if you want, you can take it. You can do the business. You don't need to worry about configuration and all. Okay, you don't need to worry about setting up configuration and all. Everything is kept it ready for you, and you can just take it and you can use it, right? So this physical infrastructure, it is
Okay.
virtualized over here. So why the cloud people virtualize their infrastructure is, so because they want to scale their resources when the client needed. That's what they used virtualization. Okay, so without virtualization, you can do the, but
Yeah.
virtualization, with the virtualization, you can if whenever you want, your server will be scaled. Whenever you don't want, your server will be degraded, right? So if you want, if the peak time the server automatically utilize the resources, when other time it will be automatically reduce the resources, right? So that scaling will be happen through the virtualization. It's not be done by traditional environment. So that's what the people use virtualization in the middle, and everything is pre-configured. Everything showing in a single portal called dashboard. Okay, in a dashboard you'll be get all those things, and if you click on it, your infrastructure get ready. You just concentrate your business. You don't need to concentrate your, yeah, it is admin panel,
Like an admin panel, right?
control panel. Hello.
Okay.
So everything is kept it ready, and
Yeah, okay.
it is this end user can easy to manage their IT in their particular place. They don't need to worry about data center, and they don't need to worry about cooling systems. They don't need to worry about natural disaster, something like that. Okay, so they just simply do the business. Whenever they want, you can use the server. When the business is not there, they can terminate the server. So you have to pay for only the particular period. Okay, they don't need to pay for all the particular
Yeah.
time. So in a traditional environment, if you buy the server, that's we cannot sell the server again, right? So if the business is went wrong, everything is went. Like you cannot gain that money again, right? Whatever you spend it for the infrastructure, that you cannot
Yes.
get it again, right? So that is there's a major things in a cloud. Okay, and if you want to know more about cloud, so you have to know about 5 points. The 5 points is satisfying cloud computing. Okay, if you have the five points satisfied, that is nothing but cloud computing. The first point is on-demand services. On-demand services. So on-demand services is means your cloud
Okay.
system will be provide on-demand services. Okay, so when the client when the customer demanded something, it should be provided at that particular time. Don't say come to users come to day after tomorrow or tomorrow. So when it is needed, you have to give. So everything should be available in your portal. If you want to increase to 500 GB, it should be available. If
Okay.
you want to increase to 1000 GB, it should be available all the time on demand services. That is one of the key features in your key things in your cloud computing. Okay, your portal should be available, your resource should be available for all the time, right?
Okay.
And the next thing is
Yeah.
resource pooling. So it is resource pooling is nothing but, so you should have all the resources available all the time. Like for example, the thing is, so if you have the storage uh, say like you have you wanted to increase to 1000 GB or some 2000 GB, your resources will be available. Also your CPU resources, also everything is available. Okay, maybe your instances automatically scale the particular resources. Okay, so at that particular time your resources will be available all the time. That is what resource pooling. So your resources will be available all the time. So pool of the resources will be available all the time. That's what they are saying, like resource pooling. So resource pool of the resources should be available in your cloud infrastructure. Okay, and the next thing is rapid elasticity. So rapid elasticity is nothing but your host should be elastable, and your, for example, if you are using instance that now he has launched instance with 2 GB RAM and 10 GB hard drive. Maybe when the business is increase, he wanted to increase to 8 GB, or he wanted to increase to 10 GB, or storage space also he wanted to increase. That time it should be increasable, rapid elasticity. Whenever the particular client customer asks you, it should be increasable. That is elasticity. When they don't want, that should be reducible. That is what rapid elasticity, right? And measured services.
Yeah.
measured. So, for example, if you in the traditional concept, whatever the client uses that will be measured by your SDM, your architect, and your account people. They have a lot of people working for your measurement, right? So, if the client use one hard drive, that is also billable. And if the client use one particular resource, one employee, he has used one employee the particular peak time, that is also billable. Everything can be billable, right? So that can be billable by the manual billing, right? So in a cloud, so different people accessing in the same portal, they'll be doing their activities. So we cannot bill by the manual billing. Okay, we cannot hire people for billing, right? So we should have services. We should have services to bill the particular usage. So if he used network resources bandwidth, that has to be billed. And if he used the particular CPU, the particular time, that has to be billed. And automatic when they are closing time, that automatic bill has to be generated and has to be sent to his mailbox, right? So the billing system should be inbuilt in your cloud computing. So that is very important. Otherwise, cloud providers won't be run their cloud environment, right? And broad network
Okay.
access. You should have high bandwidth network access. Like, for example, if you are, I mean, if it is a local LAN, it is every servers will be coming in a faster way, and maybe in the cloud computing, the people will be accessing their resources through mobile app and Kindle, and they will be accessing through URL, right? So every data is passing through the URL. So you should have that
Yeah.
much bandwidth network, and you should have that much network devices. Like instead of using 1 gig, you have to be use 10 gig kind of things. So you'll be using you'll be increase your network accessibility to maintain your cloud computing. Otherwise, you cannot run cloud business, right? So these are all the key features should be involved in your cloud
Yeah.
computing. If this five points get satisfied, that is a cloud computing. Okay, you should be provide the on-demand services. You should be provide the resource all the time available, and whenever client need that their resource will be elastable, and measurement is very important, and all the time it should not be slow. Your accessing should not be slow. Every time should be accessible by the customer. So it is nothing but cloud, right? Everything will be giving by a single portal. With the help of that, they will be accessing, right? So, and it's a like, for
Yeah.
example, when you look at the cloud in the cloud, like for example, uh, okay. So I think you got understood about virtualization and traditional environment and cloud computing, right? So cloud computing is nothing but physical and
Yes.
virtual and automated. So they have physically configured, and they have virtualized all the thing. Top of the virtualization, they have automated into the single portal, right? That is nothing but cloud computing. Okay, so your
Yes.
IT infrastructure will be provided as a portal. Okay, the businessman don't need to worry about IT infrastructure. They don't need to worried about server going to get down. So they just simply do their business, and from their sitting place. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, so this is what the things about cloud computing. So there is different kind of the guy who started the cloud computing in the world, uh, Amazon, AWS. He has the guy started your cloud computing initially. Okay, so he is now in the top of the market. No one can touch him. So that much he gained a name from the customers. Okay, so and I'll be giving you some information about AWS as well as OpenStack. Why we need OpenStack? So why people worrying about AWS, and why people's moving into OpenStack, right? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So can you give me some 5 minutes time?
Yeah, yeah. Fine. No problem.
So we can
We'll be
just
back in
I'll be
five
back in
minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, I'll be
Yeah.
keeping the call.